Hello, we're Alyson, and today we're gonna talk about this playlist we made about songs that influenced our sound today. We're gonna be calling the playlist Alysongs.
E. These songs are talking about what influenced us, before and now, and each of us have our own set of reasons to why we included these songs. And we're not gonna go through them like one by one. We're just gonna talk about them, special mention and everything important to us about them. So, everyone, why don't you start?
Okay, so first of all, I added four songs to the playlist. So why did I add these particular songs? So first of all, for Prince, I guess I've been listening to Prince lately, and the reason being is I think that's what I'm trying to gravitate towards my playing sensibilities as a bassist. And overall, this song was one of my favorites from his self-titled album. And then the next one by Lucky Tapes. It's another one of my favorites from their album. And I just really love the tone of the bassist there, and at least yung playing niya. The song itself is very fun, so it's something I aspire to like create rin.
If you wanted to see if you wanted to describe all the songs you added into like one thing, like if there was one reason you added all these songs together, like what would it be?
So if I'm gonna describe what they all have in common, is that I guess that as a bass player, parang these are things I want to apply into my playing, and there's a lot of stuff that I enjoy from these particular artists that I also want to apply to like the overall song structure of what we want to achieve. And I feel that they are really good references to draw from.
All right. Like there's some of these that I haven't actually tried to listen to, so like I am glad that we have this so that we can, even for like our own purposes, right? We get to like listen to each other's music a bit more.
Yeah, minsan talaga some of the songs naman medyo malayo talaga sila from our own genre. And a lot of them are parang for our personal consumption rin minsan. Pero yeah, it's good reference naman talaga.
Like as you'll see probably soon that there's something that links them together, but there's still something that makes them like really spread out with all the songs that you'll see here. And some of them are like these names, like you don't see these names in the same playlist too often, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
Moving on.
So for me, I put five songs. These songs consist of songs that have formed my musical identity since since I started playing guitar back in grade school. First song is Vicarious by Tool. So I really like heavy stuff, and I don't know, I just really vibe with the band Tool because maganda yung groove nila, and at the same time it's not as complex as like prog rock bands, for example. It's like a step above the Linkin Park, but not quite the hard to reach super technical stuff na. So I think that's the band that introduced me to odd time signatures, syncopation, and a lot of the dynamics we like to put in our songs today. And then next is Indigo Laend, which is one of the bands that influences us as a whole, because we rarely have those. So that played a big part in our first EP and also transitioning into upcoming tracks we're planning to release. And then after Indigo Land, we have Tomo Fujita. I think this was an artist Pio and I found almost at the same time after Indigo, because we looked up a lot of Jap rock, Jap pop, and then it just got recommended that it's
Actually,
amazing.
ano rin siya, diba? Parang hindi naman talaga siya, I would say, the usual Japanese artist you would
He's a
research.
professor at Berkeley, eh?
Yeah. We weren't expecting to find this guy, but we found him. At parang Tomo Fujita, in a way, I like his philosophy and his approach din sa pagsusulat niya and how he even teaches guitars. It's not much of, having all this techniques, using techniques, more of like, how does it place? Sometimes he emphasizes rhythm as building your chords. How do you play the chords? Like, it could be the same progression, but it's played differently. And his way of teaching talagang nakaka-influence siya pati sa songwriting na parang chord progressions will always repeat themselves at some point in songs. Pero parang the way to make it magical is to really think, where does it belong? And you don't get teachers like that.
Yeah, it's like one of the YouTubers who actually gives away lessons for almost like for free actually. I mean, he has paid stuff, but his free stuff is like super generous.
And in touch pati yung halimbawa for gears and everything. Diba? Sometimes he uses what his students use so that when he teaches, he can like show you settings,
realistic application.
I really think that he's a big influence for both of us siguro sa mga guitar work.
Okay, so I think when Erf introduced all of us to like J-pop, J-rock back when we were in like late high school,
Influential.
Black
I
hole.
feel like after Erf, I feel like I ran with it the hardest. And this isn't intentional kasi it turns out everything I added to the playlist is not in English. And all of them are from, the J-rock, J-pop canon, Japanese music. Except for one of them is Korean. I approached this one a bit on a couple of fronts, like thematically, the way it's written and the way it sounds. Thematically, they all sort of fit in a certain way. All of them have this idea of, fitting emotions with the familiar backdrop. Like, I also watch the music videos of these videos and read the lyrics when I can. So like in the Keirinji track, it's a simple love story set in like a cafe, something like that, as per the music video. The Gospel in Terminal is about, leaving a loved one at the airport. Shishamo is, sentimental, I want to be next with you. And the music video features like love at different stages of your life, being a school kid, being old, living together in your like 20s. And Someday also makes mentions of like the city and, loneliness. Oh, I have one more here. It's by Taiko Onuki. How can I forget? It's called Tokai, which, means city. And it's another song that mentions, all these emotions that you feel, and the backdrop is the city. And as for their sound, they're all very, thematically, they're all also very sentimental, which is something I gravitate towards. I like things that show a lot of emotion, that show a lot of sense of familiarity with where you are and what you're feeling. All of that. As per sound, I gravitated a lot towards these chill, easygoing, yet there's that word again, sentimental sounds. Like Good Day Goodbye sounds a bit retro. A Gospel in Terminal has this really chilled boom bap beat with pianos and flutes going on. Shishamo is kind of an outlier. It's the most J-rock among the things I picked. The thing about Shishamo is that they use chord progressions that kind of take you back to more classical songwriting areas, rather than their contemporaries. So I think they're worth mentioning. They kind of get to integrate that. So I like to incorporate all of these in our songwriting, in the feel of the songs that we make. And I really hope that it shines through.
Okay, so for my contribution to the playlist, I actually have 5, but one of them is not available on Spotify. So actually, one that's not available on Spotify is also from Tatsuro Yamashita, which is Magic Waves. Waves? Yeah, that one. Waves. Waves. That one. Yeah. So I just really like that song. Well, for one, it was one of the few that I heard from him that was actually in English. And it was nice. It was really a sweet song, and it really is reminiscent of what we really want to do in terms of, the band stuff. Like most situations, you can just listen to it, and that's what I want when it comes to the sounds and stuff. Okay. Next on the playlist. Okay, so I have some K-pop here from Twice. Okay, this one's one of their latest songs, which was I Can't Stop Me. actually, it's one of the few songs that really stuck to me in a sense. Kasi parang, pag nakikinig kasi ako ng mga K-pop or anything, parang there's something about it that just draws you in. Generally, I just also observe how they sing, how they put their singing lines into their songs. Kasi yun yung yun yung nagpapaiba sa mga kanta, I'd say. And also, I've been trying to pick the brains of one of Korea's great songwriters. I'd say JYP, Park Jin-young. So I've been trying to pick his brains on how to actually write his music. I've been watching stuff on YouTube, yung parang mga variety shows niya lang. Parang how's his process, and I somehow resonate with how he does his stuff, which is very focused on emotions and really being really rhythmic. The next few, like Nights by Billy Ocean and Everything She Wants by Wham, I actually had these kasi for a time naglalaro ako ng GTA 5. Tapos, and the reason for me putting that in the playlist is really one, actually most of the songs I've been making now have been really centered on that vibe that you're just going around town, mamaneo ka lang, parang chill, and at the same time there's some pulsating something inside that just makes you go, you really wanna vibe to it, you just really wanna dance to it. So ito lang, nahirapan ako magset ng sad songs. I don't know why, but it's kind of hard to come by for me. Pero there's something about these kinds of happy, like vibey songs that whatever situation you're in, just as how a sad song makes you feel sad, a happy song just kind of makes it a bit better. And that's what I want people to remember, or when they hear our music for the first time, that dami-dami ng sawi songs, which is well written, but at the same time, Alyson wants to be that other type of sound that when you feel it, you actually feel a bit light, or even if you don't feel so well, you just feel like you just want to dance it out, just let it out of your system.
This whole playlist is a really good roadmap for both our listeners and for us when it comes to the music that we make and what to expect from us, because for sure the sensibilities that we absorb from these songs are going to come out in what we write. In a way, this playlist kind of acts as sort of like a teaser for what they can expect in some shape or form. And at the same time, of course, each of us already listened to some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of us, I'll be listening to a lot of the stuff that you guys listen to, because the thing that we kind of have different as a band is that the crossover from the songs that we listen to is like not exactly tangential, like once in a lifetime, but it's not like we share music tastes exactly 1:1, 100%. So it's nice to understand where everybody is coming from a bit better.
Tsaka parang it just also goes to show na parang siguro kung listener, feeling ko siguro some listeners would think, they're so unified when it comes to influences, because when we release songs, diba, yung process natin na talagang natin really made the best out of it. But looking siguro at this playlist, parang everyone sees that minsan sobrang layo di ba? Parang saan galing
pretty
yung
damn
cool,
scattered.
Saan galing, saan galing yung mga heavy stuff, di ba? Saan galing yung mga J-rock, saan galing? Parang it's just really nice to really share siguro to everyone watching this video right now. Ito talaga siya. Generally, siguro not just for Alyson siguro, but most of the people we adored listening to, ito talaga yung mga influences. You wouldn't think that with the vast influences or the vast array of songs na talagang pinapakinggan ng mga nag-susulat ng kanta or people in the band, parang it's just nice. It's nice to know na parang ito palang perspective ng mga to. Diba?
Tapos ang ganda na na-apply nila din sa tunog nila talaga yung influences.
Yeah, parang additional commentary about that is that, I guess, to sum it up, kahit sobrang iba ng mga pinapakinggan namin at times, I think all four of us have this general idea of where we want the Alyson sound to head to.
Yeah.
Kahit na, yun nga, we're gathering from different influences at times.
This kind of shows how music. This is how music works. This is how songwriting and music works. Because think of music as like a language, right? And let's say when you're a baby, you don't learn how to communicate from scratch. You receive words. People talk to you. You listen to people, and then you synthesize that into your own language, your own music tastes. And then when you're in a band, it gets further synthesized. At some point, it becomes unrecognizable from the original sources because that's just how music and how humans work. So
That's true. That's true.
it's really interesting to see.
Okay guys, so the playlist is available now on our Spotify. Hanapin niyo lang yung Alysongs, a playlist curated by Alyson. Pag napakinggan niyo na yung playlist, kindly comment down below what your favorite songs are from the playlist, and maybe you could also give your recommendations kung ano yung mga kanta na you think we will jive with as a band, or at least maybe your personal favorites rin. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and follow us on our social media. So again, we're Alyson. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.